the Dockerfile for the backend is done, and then we have to create the Dockerfile for front end. Again, you create the new file inside the front end and say Dockerfile. Make sure when you write this Dockerfile, D must be capital. All right. So we have created another Dockerfile, and for another Dockerfile, we'll just scroll down, and we have to create it. Create a Dockerfile inside the front end folder, and then we will just copy this. We'll just copy this. Okay, the whole code, and go back and put it here. So what is this Dockerfile for front end doing here? So Node version 18 we are using for building our React project. Okay, why 18? Currently, right now at the time of recording this video, Node 24 is LTS. Okay, long time support version, but we are using Node 18 is because in a Docker, this 18 is a tested version, and most of the people use Node 18 for for Docker. Okay, even though the LTS version is 24, but in the Node environment, in the Docker environment, we typically use 18. But in future, if you're watching this video after 1 or 2 years, it could be changed, but you can just Google it and use the latest stable version. Okay, so for now it is Node 18. So this is what is this Node 18 image? We are getting it from the Docker Hub. Okay, and work directory is again app. Okay, so you see, this is one container. Okay, this Dockerfile will create one backend container. This Dockerfile will create another backend container. Understanding this, right? So in this container, we have the root directory called app. Again, for the front end also, we have another root directory called app again. Okay, whatever files that we have in local, we will push, or we'll just copy and copy it to this app directory. Okay, so this is actually the Docker environment. All right, so again here what we are doing, we are just using copy a package.json. Why this package.json is because just like requirements.txt, right? So it has all the in the requirements.txt we have Python dependencies, right? The same way in package.json we have the React dependencies. Okay, so that we are just adding to the app directory, and then we install this npm install. Okay, so once you run this npm install, all these packages will get installed. Okay, and after that we are copying this code. Okay, copying this front end code. Okay, so this is dot means all code which is which includes front end. Okay, and put it in the destination path, which is the app. Okay, and then we build the arguments for environment variables. In here we only have a Vite server base URL. Yeah, so this one we are actually taking it from the .env file only, and you can see here this line passes an environment variable into the Docker containers, so the React app knows the backend API URL. Okay, so that's one thing. And after that, npm run build. If you remember, we used this npm run dev, right? But we use of course for local we use dev. Okay, but we can use build for the live or production server. Okay, so this will work. And then we use nginx image. So you see, Alpine means the lighter version of nginx. It's just like this slim, right? So for nginx it is Alpine. So nginx is a reverse proxy. If you don't know anything about nginx, or if you don't know anything about gunicorn that we are going to use, you can just watch the nginx and the gunicorn part. Just go to the description of this video and you will see the timeline. Okay, you will see the timeline. So I have actually added the dedicated session, or it's like a 10 minutes session, which explains exactly what is Nginx and what is G-Unicorn, and how does both of these work together to make our application live and serve our application to the public. Okay, so all of these things are explained. You can just go to description of the video and find the timestamp. Okay, so if you already know Nginx, you can just skip that part. And then we have this copy from build app dist user share nginx html. So what this line of code will do is it will take your built React app and puts it inside the nginx directory. Okay, puts it inside the nginx so that nginx can now serve it. All right, and then we are exposing port 80 so that Nginx can, Nginx can serve our application. So it uses 80 port, and then we run this command nginx-g daemon off. So what this means is it tells Nginx to run in the foreground, not in the background. So what happens? Normally Nginx runs as a background service or background process. That's what we call daemon. Okay, and Docker containers must have one main process running. Okay, otherwise, if the Nginx runs in the background by default, the Docker thinks that the container is finished, or it will essentially stops the container. So that's why we are running this command to tell Docker that start Nginx and keep it running in the front end as the main process. If it's too much, don't worry, you don't have to understand all of these things to just deploy. But that's the that's what it means. All right, so that's why we run this command. All right, so and make sure you expose 80 so that Nginx could run the process. All right, so that's about the front end. Okay, now that's about the front end for the Docker file.